Hi folks, James Donaldson here again. I just wanted to apologise because I promised you all a meditation in the woods, and unfortunately my wonderful microphone has managed to break down. Don't quite understand how, because I've hardly used it really yet, but it has. So yeah, it's a bit kaput. So I thought I'd just find a nice little space in the woods. I'm hoping you can hear the beautiful bird song I can hear. You might hear the crazy Ruby as she charges around the place. Hopefully she'll calm down as we start to do this. And I also wanted to introduce myself, I guess, because a lot of people have been asking if they can share this with groups and teams that they're part of, and my answer to that is of course you can, please do. These tools are to help people just manage some of their fears and anxieties during a very challenging time in our history. Forgive me for being sweaty because this is up a hill. So yeah, I'm James Donaldson. I'm a psychotherapist and a trainer. Been sort of in the world of supporting and helping other people for about 17 years. Before doing the job I'm doing now, I was a soldier and part of an organisation called the Army Welfare Service, and tasked with supporting people through all manner of difficult things, really. And my own story really is that sort of from about 2013 to about 2015, I went through a period of quite a low point for me. Some mental ill health, including depression, some post-traumatic difficulties, and some anxiety. And I kind of built a personal toolkit to help me sort of come out of that very difficult place, manage those difficulties, which I felt I kind of had to do myself. I guess the medical processes for me weren't quite getting me to where I wanted to be, and that's not to decry anyone delivering wonderful services out there, whether offering medicine or offering therapy. What I'm saying is, for me, it just felt important to be able to build my own toolkit and to be able to do things for myself. As part of that, I studied mindfulness and then went on to become a mindfulness teacher at university, and that's part of what I do. And I wanted to talk today, if that's okay, about the concept of acceptance. And I thought that what we might do is I might turn you towards some of this beautiful stuff, get my mug maybe off the camera for a while, and maybe take us through a practice, an acceptance practice, because it could be tough to accept things the way they are currently, right? Think about it. We don't want to be in this time. We want things to be different. We want to move towards the future when we're past this uptake in the virus. We want to be there now. And often we live at different periods of time rather than now. Our heads move forward or they move backwards, and we pinch and borrow the anxieties and the fears from that time, and we feel them and live them now. So acceptance is a way of just allowing that fear to kind of abate a little bit, to just lessen in its intensity, and for us to understand that we survive these things. You know, the reality is more of us are surviving than on, and sometimes we need to remember that. Even though our sorrows go out to those poor souls who don't make it, most of us do, and it's useful for us to remember that. So I'm going to turn you towards the beautiful scene I can see there, and I'm going to just take you through a bit of guidance, if that's okay. So here we go. So what I'd like you to do, just try and find yourself a place to sit, find a seat, somewhere comfortable, but maybe also a seat where you can remain alert, you can remain aware, not a place where you're going to sort of doze off, you know, like a kitchen chair or a garden wall or just something like that perhaps. And get yourself nice and comfy, feet flat on the floor, your hands on your lap. Feel free to close your eyes, or if you want to look at this lovely view, then feel free to do so. And I just want you to bring your attention to whatever's on your mind right now, whatever is showing up in the mind. Simply let that be. We're not trying to suppress it, push it away. We're not trying to imagine a better time than now. We're simply going to let go of that and allow and accept what's here for us right now. Do we have fears and worries? What do they feel like for us? Where do we feel those fears and worries in our body? What emotions come with them? It can be useful to label those things. We might say worry, chest, scared. And if we can, just as those things are coming up for us, as we're experiencing those thoughts and those feelings and those emotions, it can be useful for us to just use the breath as a way of diffusing the intensity of those experiences. So with each thought, we can just try to use a couple of breaths. And if possible, just really becoming aware of them down in the tummy. That sense of inflation that comes with breathing in. And that deflation, that letting go that comes with breathing out. Perhaps noticing the pauses in between breathing in and breathing out. Or between breathing out and breathing in. And it's quite normal then that something else comes up into mind. We might have another thought, another related feeling, another related emotion. The mind could be full of thoughts. And whatever your experience is right now, it's simply just that. It is your experience. And we can say to ourselves, in this difficult time, I'm here. I'm surviving. I'm doing the best with what I have. I don't need to change this. I can allow it to be. I can accept this. And it might be that some of the words that we use as we consider these worries cause us to feel even more strain. We might be harsh on ourselves. We might call ourselves names. We might decry the things we do right now. We might blame ourselves for things. We might blame others. Here's an opportunity to notice that. To notice that our brain, when anxious, when stressed, when struggling, has a tendency to do that. To blame others, to belittle ourselves. Again, this is normal. This is simply what minds do. And our intention here is not to change that. It's simply to notice that. Here I am now worrying. Here I am now feeling blame and guilt and shame. Here I am now blaming others and feeling frustration and annoyance. Here's how those thoughts feel in my body. These are the emotions that arise when I feel these sensations and I think these thoughts. And they arise because I'm a person. I'm just a human, being human. And then each time, as I said before, we sense one of these thoughts, just guiding our attention very gently, after labelling that thought, that feeling, that emotion, back to the breath. And so we begin to develop a practice, a mindful practice, of noticing, of being curious, of our thoughts, of our feelings, of our emotions, without judging them, without trying to push them away, letting them be, and then guiding our attention to the breath, using the breath as an anchor to the here and the now, to this moment, using this breath, and then this breath, and then this breath. And as you come now to the end of this practice for today, allow yourself to congratulate yourself for taking a few precious moments, for looking after your own well-being, for being supportive of yourself. Be grateful for who you are. This is your life. So I hope that was useful in some way. I'm going to keep these coming because I've had some requests to do just that, and it's a privilege to try and help people out. Please feel free to share them. I've had some requests about that. Please share them wherever you can. It would be wonderful to think that there are NHS staff sitting together for a few moments using some of these, or, you know, firefighters or police officers, those wonderful people, even people at Asda, right, or Tesco on their lunch break, maybe just sitting and having a few precious moments. And particularly those of you who live in cities and urban areas, you can't get out into gorgeous places like this. You know, I do hope you heard some of this bird song. It's a gorgeous crisp morning here, and I do want to share that with you as much as I can. Feel free as well to get in touch directly. I'm absolutely here for people if they need to talk, conversation. You can get in touch via the Facebook page, the Orctus page that this comes with. If you like the page, you should be able to get in touch then and message me directly. It's only me that will receive the messages, so you know, you don't need to worry about sharing things. I'm more than willing to spend some time and listen and talk, maybe talk to you directly. Please take care in these very uncertain times. Lots of love to you all, and I hope to see you soon. All the best.